We commenced business in 2008, and since then have grown every year. We started first in an office, and then we moved to a larger premises, and we had a number of agencies. And it's only in the last 4 or 5 years that we've decided to keep stock and sell direct to end users or distributors and agents. And that has seen rapid growth in the last 3-4 years since we decided to have our own warehouse and do things ourselves internally rather than depend on others to do it for us. So we have grown, which is exciting. Well, I've been in the corporate world for a long time and worked under the ISO umbrella. So in day-to-day activities as well as in management. And I understand what ISO is. I understand what ISO means. We just didn't have ISO 9001. We had the other things like OHS and environment and all that kind of stuff. But those are large companies. And so I had a fair idea as to what ISO does involve because I was personally involved myself. And so when we thought about it a few years ago and I bumped across you on LinkedIn, I thought this may be a chance to sort of relook at it all over again in our own independent capacity, which means from top down, we have to implement things rather than when I was in corporate, we were told what to do. So it's a slightly different thing, but by and large, we thought it would be helpful especially for a small business where there are possibilities to make errors, to make mistakes, to fall back, to become lethargic. So we are always on the front foot. We want to do things right. We hold very dear and closely our customers, and we wanted to find ways to expand on that, to get new customers, to hold customers, not that we were not holding customers, but to make things better, to improve things, to improve processes, to improve how we purchase, to improve the quality of products, to improve our market offering.
Excellent. Well, you already believed in the benefits then, so this was just more formalizing it and making sure everything was crossed off and ready, which is great. Puts you in a better position.
We've also had some large customers who possibly may have been reluctant to deal with us directly. A few have come and spoken with us, got all the information, got all the technical stuff and pricing, and then a week later we see somebody else coming and buying it from us. So there are a number of reasons. One is maybe they don't want to expand their supplier base. They're large companies. Or I remember at the very early stage, what hurt me most was when we quoted a customer. This is when we first started. It was a big job. And our competitor, that was a customer or a company I used to work for, obviously got their nose out of joint, and they went to this customer and said, don't deal with Rasaval Pacific. They are a small business. They're not going to be able to service you. We are a big company, and we'll give you 120 days credit. And we've got all the backup. So what it did demonstrate at that time was, as much as that company wanted to give us the business, a seed of doubt was sown in their head. And whilst we continue to remain small business, we are doing things that demonstrates that we can match up to the bigger boys. So that was also another reason why we thought a few credentials would help legitimize who we were and how we did things.
Wow, that's interesting. I'm glad you shared that kind of like business journey that you had to go through, because as a smaller competitor fighting a big one. I mean, we all have that same. Every one of us in our industries have that same issue at times. So I'm glad that you were able to get more to prevail like that.
Yeah. Over a period of time, I was able to swing that customer around, and ever since we get weekly, daily, monthly orders from them. So we've taken over. And hopefully with the ISO, I sent them the information. In fact, I sent, say 50% of our good customers a spiel on ISO and the certificate and our latest achievement. And a lot of them were responded in a very positive way. So they were happy that we had taken that step. And they said, we realized the problems involved in getting this. But kudos to you, not just here in Australia, customers from overseas have also.
Well done. That's great news.
Yeah.
And let me ask you this too, from the very first time that you and I interacted on, I know it was via LinkedIn originally and then other ways, how like now that you're at the very end of it, how has it been dealing with us as a provider, Southpack?
I must say it's been easy, but I found the communication, the exchange, and I found very unique your style of sending me a message with a video. I thought that most unusual. I have come across that. In fact, I even asked you, how do you do it? And of course, I'm not as good looking as you to send such messages.
I got up and washed my hair this morning, Razmik.
It was quite easy and of course, I think you also calmed our nerves in the sense that, this is no big deal for you. You don't have to invent the wheel. You explain the processes and how you guys manage things. And that gave us confidence that yes, we're a small business. We invested the money. But I think part of that came also from your approach, which we found good. We were happy.
Thank you. Appreciate that feedback.
It was a great opportunity and we took advantage of it, not in the bad way, but in a positive way from our perspective. And we hope that we can continue to grow with the ISO. And that was also another intention, that hopefully in the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, we can see the ISO facilitating our growth.
I look forward to tracking that. I look forward to seeing how it goes the next 1, 2, 3 years. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of auditors who are very, very aggressive and very, very, their intention is to find a fault for whatever reason to justify their existence or whatever. But
yeah,
this gentleman was a good choice. And we worked well. I mean, he asked the questions that needed to be asked. He came back and asked by email many, many more things that he may have thought he had forgotten and he needed to include in his report, which we were gladly did. We had it. I mean, within seconds of his email, we promptly sent our responses. We had everything that was wanted. And, we are going to grow on this. In fact, when I advised our consultant yesterday, the next feedback was great. Let's lock in a date for March for then our next audit. So we are going to be continuously every month doing our own internal audits.
That's great. Well, things can only get stronger from there, as you said. So what a good goal to have achieved in 2021. Yeah.